Ladies and gentlemen, the regular season game opener for the Chicago Bulls has come to an end, and it has ended in a very, very disturbing fashion. The Chicago Bulls have failed to pick up a victory against the Hawks, and we're leaving here with more questions than answers. Not many people, if anyone, will be very happy on the Bulls side of things tonight. So let's go through the game reaction for the Hawks and see the things that we need to work on, because I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of them. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aiden Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls video in relation to the game reaction against the Atlanta Hawks. Very, very difficult game to watch, to be honest. The game was passed us by instantly, and it shows the work that the Chicago Bulls need to do to make sure that things like that do not happen again. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aiden Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below what are the things that we need to work on. Obviously, this game really was a terrible one for this team, and how can we bounce back from a game like that? We versed the Atlanta Hawks tonight, a very injured Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks that had a lot of their starters, even a lot of their bench players out of this game. So a lot more questions than answers to how we lost this game. Obviously, the Atlanta Hawks came out firing from the very beginning, and the Bulls did not come back from that. Simply put, the Bulls did not come back. They didn't respond with any runs of their own. They had little to no contribution to try and fight back for this game. The Hawks, look, at the end of the day, even if we neglect what Trae Young did to us today, even if we completely ignore Trae Young, if Trae Young didn't play today, the Chicago Bulls still would have lost that game. And the reason why is, where is the defensive presence? Where is the switching? Where is the pick and roll defense? Everything that the Chicago Bulls did today on the defensive side was extremely negative. Very few possessions did we have a good defensive possession leading to a steal or to a block. Now, there are individual players that did end up playing good today, but at the end of the day, this team in general struggled to keep up with the Atlanta Hawks. This team struggled to show their defensive prowess. This team struggled to show any Bulls fans that they can be a good defensive side in the meantime. The offense, look, the offense was obviously worrying. I mean, we gave up, I believe it was 40 points in the first quarter, and I think 80 in the half, which is unacceptable for any team. But more than that, our offense didn't come to us. We weren't making that many threes. We weren't cutting to the paint. We weren't having that movement. Where were the cuts to the paint? Where were the hard cuts to the paint tonight, like what the Atlanta Hawks were doing? Where was most of our mid-range shots? Where was our attack in the paint? The thing is, the Chicago Bulls just didn't show up to the game today. Where were they? They were missing in action. And this game disappoints me. This game hurts me. This is the first regular season game. We're playing at home. We've got a team that is not at their strongest, and we are trying to compete with them for a playoff spot. So the fact of the matter is, this game hurts me probably more than losing to a good team or losing to a Lakers or a Clippers or any Western Conference team, because the Atlanta Hawks are a team that we're supposed to be fighting in a playoff spot for. And I don't like I know it's just one game, but I don't like that mentality of it's just one game, we'll pick it up in the next game. Because at the end of the day, a performance like that, especially defensively, should never be accepted. Should never just be looked over and saying, oh, it's just one game. The offense, yeah, fair enough. You could say it's just one game. We weren't making shots. We can move on to the next game and hopefully our shots go in. But the defense tonight needs a lot of work. And it's almost like we forgot what the preseason work we did looked like, because the second game and the first game against OKC, our defense looked phenomenally good. It looks like we have not picked up anything from those games, and we ended up playing the very same old defense. There was no help. There was no help on the pick and rolls. I mean, Trae Young basically got anything he wanted today because no one was able to help an isolated Larry Marketing. No one was able to help off of the pick and roll. Where was the pressure to put on Trae Young to give the ball up? Nothing of that sort ended up coming into fruition. Now, let's move into individual performance today. Larry Marketing had a good game. I think Larry Marketing, it was 21 points, I think it was I don't know if it was 4 or it was like 21, 4, and 7, something like that. Zach LaVine had foul trouble, but he ended up having a good game for the minutes that he played. I think he didn't play that many minutes, but he still ends up getting over 20 points. Had 1 assist, which we need to see we need to see improvements on. It's as simple as that. But we also saw very bad performers. Obviously, Kobe White was dreadful today. So many turnovers, so many missed shots, so many unforced errors. Again, his opposition in Trae Young absolutely scored him today. And it just goes to show that Kobe White still has a lot of work to do to become a primary point guard. Now, these are things that hopefully in the next game shouldn't be too much of an issue. But again, we simply cannot ignore a game like this or neglect a game like this as just one game. Wendell Carter didn't have a good game today. Defensively, he was beaten in a lot of areas, in the three-point range, in the paint, which is something that when Clint Capella is not playing, you don't expect the Bulls to be losing a rebound battle, but we did. You didn't expect the Bulls to give up so many points in the paint, but we did. And that is another area where we need to work on. Points in the paint, limiting perimeter shots, give up something, allow the team to be uncomfortable on offense. We just didn't see that much at all today. And yeah, look, there was a lot more. Chandler Hutchison didn't have a great game today. Couldn't finish around the ring to save his life. He had so many good opportunities to get a dunk or a layup and he failed to do so. There were a bunch of players on this team that didn't capitalize on this first game. We had no energy coming into this game. This is the first regular season game against the Hawks at home, and we have disgraced our home court. That's just how I feel. I don't care if there are fans in there or it's an empty stadium. That court should not be disgraced the way that it was today. You should always put energy into the home games. You should always fight when you're at home. And that's something we didn't see today. And that's something I need to see in the next game. Win or lose, I want to see more energy in that game. I want to see more effort in that game. I don't want to walk away from that game knowing that this team did not try hard enough on the defensive side and simply could not give anything to show that they are a decent side or even a side that was willing to put in the effort today. And that is something that I want to see in the next game against, I think it's the Indiana Pacers. Patrick Williams got his first start today, and I'm very, very proud to say that Patrick Williams did have a good game for the Chicago Bulls. 16 points. I believe he had 7 rebounds or so. Very, very good mid-range shots. He took some layups. He was bullying people. He got some block shots. He got some steals. Patrick Williams, in my opinion, was definitely one of those players that could hold their head up high today. Out of everybody that lacked energy, Patrick Williams showed up in this game and showed out in this game, and he's definitely one of the more impressive players to watch. Now, moving on to the player that needs to improve the most. Now, this is a toss-up between Wendell Carter and Kobe White, but unfortunately, this is going to Kobe White tonight because Kobe White, as a facilitator, failed to deliver in his job. And as a shot creator, he failed to deliver in his job. At the end of the day, we need to find a balance with Kobe White. Billy Donovan has said that on multiple occasions. Well, we didn't find the balance tonight on anything with Kobe White. He ended up just having a miserable game. He suffered. He got some foul calls against him. Trae Young dominated him. He failed to deliver assists and score really any points. It's been a terrible, terrible, terrible game for Kobe White. And Wendell Carter should definitely be in that category as well. But if we're only targeting one player, which is how I expect these game reviews to go, it's Kobe White that needs to step up in the next game and not really Wendell Carter. But granted, Wendell Carter also had a bad game. And if we're targeting people, Wendell Carter is definitely someone that needs to step up in the next game. Our player of the game is going to be Lauri Markkanen. He started off the game very, very well. He ended up making a few shots from 3 today. I think he was our best player. He got a lot of boards. Defensively, he was all right. I feel sorry for Lauri Markkanen because I think on the offense, we didn't give him any help at all. Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen weren't really playing together for the majority of the game, so they got their points in different times. Lauri Markkanen got no help on his side, to be honest, and that is something that we don't like to see. And it's unfortunate that this team had to go out the way that they went out in that first game. All the hype that we had for 9 months, more than 9 months, to get that regular season going. And I'm not going to over exaggerate here, but that drained the life out of me, that game. That is a poor Christmas present to receive as well. So much that we need to work on. We do have our next game against the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers is going to be a game where I think that we're going to have to have personal pride. We got beaten badly today. We got our ass handed to us, as Billy Donovan said in our first Houston Rockets game. He might even say it after this game. We got our ass handed to us. We got an ass whipping today. And it's against a team that we should be competing with. So the next game against the Indiana Pacers, we need to ball out like we've never balled out before. We need to come there with personal pride. We need to come there with energy. We need to come there with aggression. I don't care how many fouls we give up. We need to show that we're a team that is going to fight for every single game and not give up or look so lackadaisical or look so bleak and unworthy to be a basketball team. That's just how we played tonight. So next game, that's what I want to see. If we win or if we lose, look, at the end of the day, we could be a team that loses a lot of games this season. We could be a team that fights for a playoff spot. That's not going to be determined or undetermined after one game. But what I do want to see is energy and fight. And if I see that, then that's an improvement over this game, which is a start at the end of the day. Of course, I want to see my team win, but I think I understand after this game, if that's the way that we're showing up to games, we're not winning that many. So it's up to the Bulls to prove that they have another level to go up to. They can fight and push themselves to get some buckets and play some defense, because that's what we're going to need to do. Anyway, with that being said, I think I'm going to end this here. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter than the previous ones. There's no point going on after a loss. Doesn't feel very great. Anyway, I think the next Bulls game will be after Christmas. So for everybody that is watching this, Merry Christmas. Hopefully the Bulls didn't ruin your Christmas too much. But I think we'll have to see how things go in the next game against the Pacers, and we can make our opinions, our judgments based on that game. It's going to be a tough few days to swallow. We're going to have to analyze things, and I think the Bulls are going to have to show some respect to the Bulls fans and give us a performance that is actually worthy of watching in this season. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.